Flight combat simulator games definitely started to rise in popularity during the PlayStation 2 generation, with quite a number of entries, even from previous popular brands or sequels, but you would also see new games start to come to the forefront. And Heroes of the Pacific is one of those interesting games, which again is an aerial combat flight simulator that was released for the PlayStation 2, Windows and Xbox in the year of 2005, with the plot revolving around the role of a young pilot that's based around the events of the likes of Pearl Harbor and the like around World War II, where you'll be instructed to commandeer a fighter pilot aeroplane with the goal to complete a variety of different missions and eliminate enemies along the way. So there are different game modes available, from action focused missions to completing different objectives, even historical training, and there's even multiplayer modes to play with your mates. And upon its release, the game did receive favourable reviews across all platforms, stating it to be an overall solid experience. But as in with any flight combat game, if you're not really used to the whole gameplay and control dynamics, it can be a bit tricky to get used to. But if you have a bit more experience and you have more patience with these type of experiences, you definitely will have a good time with these games. The one thing that's notable about this as well is because the game was published by Codemasters, and even from a graphical standpoint, it's a very good looking game. In terms of the level of detail, when you look at the planes themselves, even the environments that you're flying around in, there is quite an interesting level of detail available that looks quite wild compared to a lot of other games of a similar type on the console itself. Now there are different difficulty modes available, ranging from rookie to pilot and veteran, and each one with their own dynamics that will increase the difficulty and present more challenges the further into the experience that you get. But you'll be able to unlock more planes and rewards upon upgrading using various point systems at your disposal, which you'll need to do once you complete missions.
Okay, hotshot, now throttle right back. I want to see if you can recover from a stall. Get that baby below stall speed.
It's an interesting game. The more time you put into it, the more you get out of it. Now if you do struggle, like I said, with these type of games, which I often do, it can be tricky to figure out what you're supposed to do in the beginning, but it's more so knowing and being aware of your surroundings. That's the key. If you know where attacks are potentially coming from and be ready for them so that you can take enemies out while also avoiding potential pitfalls along the way, you'll do okay. But the simple fact is that if you've played one of these type of games, essentially you have played them all, because they all utilise a similar gameplay aesthetic or format, just sometimes from a different context, as this one's based more around World War II events. But then you do have a lot of other entities on the PlayStation 2 that focus even on futuristic elements, so there's a load of different gameplay styles to suit different players' preferences, and this is just but one of them. It's an interesting game, and it's a solid all-round game of this calibre if you're into these flight combat simulators. It's one to try for sure. But regardless of what I think, I would love to know your thoughts of this. What do you think of it overall? Is this something you'd be interested in? Are you into these type of games at all? Or maybe not so much? So be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you would like to see more content around more aerial combat simulator games that were also released on the console over the years, then you can check out this playlist here on screen.